I don't know, at least like 100, 200 probably. Just going through, I mean, every chapter of it, the I don't know what I'm doing, clicking buttons to the man, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Never never knowing if I'm gonna make it, to the point where it's like, okay, now I'm passing evals, I'm starting to feel what riot you playing? What does riot mean? I don't understand. Hey man, I'm legit. They wouldn't just slap me on here otherwise, right? Oh, Riot Games. You see my thing down there, dude? I play League, bro. I'm not that good at it. I thought that's what you were talking about. But I was like, man, is he asking me about my League? Yeah, I play League. I'm not like, good at it though at all. I'm like, a side note from the stream, I'm like hard stuck bronze, bro. So like, don't even. um, fuck, what was I saying? Oh, I was talking about how I got to the point where you start passing evals, but then you get to the funded, and it's like your heart's racing, bumping out your chest. You don't know what to do. You feel like every trade's going against you, right? You got to get through that phase to the point where it's just like, okay, like I said, like I know I'm just gonna trade 1 to 2 micros. This is what works for me, right? This is what's within my risk tolerance, right? Because if I was on a mini right now, what I would have had to close so early, right? Like I wouldn't even have the chance to see if I'm correct about the market or not, right? Even if I was in 5 micros, like what this would be, 600, 700 bucks. You know, it's all about longevity in the market, you guys. It's all about how long can you let your edge play out for, right? I'm sure a lot of you have a good edge, but you're just dependent on it working out every single day, right? And that's just gonna burn you, right? If you're trying to be profitable long term, if you're trying to really do this as like a career, as something that's gonna provide for you and your family, you need to start thinking about this as like real money, right? On even on your evals, right? If you're up 200, 300 bucks in profit and you're watching it come back down to zero every single time or go red, let me ask you this: if I walked up to you in person and held $200 or $300 bills out in front of you and said, "You can take this money until I put my hand back in my pocket," are you gonna sit there and just stare at me until maybe I put my hand back in my pocket, or are you gonna take the fucking money? Right? You're gonna take the money, right? Because it's right there and it's real, right? So the same. Don't let this just become a number on the screen, right? There's a reason I don't max out my positions. There's a reason you're not gonna see me taking massive losses, right? It's because this number to me still hits like if it's on a funded account, even though I'm trading this eval, right? I do not want to see this 5, 6, 700 bucks on one trade, right? I don't, because I know that in my max loss limit is 200, 300 bucks for the day. So if I start breaking my rules, if I start letting that go out the window, how am I going to be able to run a business? This is your business. Nobody is in control of you. Nobody is behind you, tapping you on the shoulder, telling you, that's not a good idea. You should take your profit here. You should have half the size of that position. Nobody's doing any of this for you, right? The only way you get to that point is whenever you have the discipline and the mental control to maintain within your strategy, maintain your risk, and let your edge play out over a long period of time. Like I'm telling you guys, I don't care if this is like 100 bucks, 200 bucks, either way, right? $100 win, $200 loss. Doesn't matter to me because one, I can compound this across multiple accounts, right? And they're all still going to be alive tomorrow. Think about that. You get these accounts passed, you can start taking money out every day. You guys don't want to make money? Isn't that what you're here for? To make money, right? Isn't even $50 a day better than buying another eval? Literally, $50 a day is better than going and buying another eval. I don't know if that's hit any of you yet. $50 a day is better than going and buying another eval. All you have to do is get better at controlling your risk, right? It doesn't. I don't care what strategy you trade. My boy Lupin in here, he likes to use the EMA. He knows I don't use indicators at all. Fair, fair. But you know what? We both have great risk management, and neither of us is going to blow a trade on one trade, blow an account on one trade, right? With that being said, maybe you guys have different strategies you like to use. I don't like this is my first time being exposed to a lot of you. There's a good chance that a lot of us have a different trading ideologies, right? All of us probably have a different foundation, different understanding of the market. But the one thing that I guarantee you is that consistent across the board is that the only thing any of us can control is our risk, right? Like I would have loved if my trade would have been like, oh, it closed outside the box. Take your trade and go long, and it's just gonna run. But I don't have control in that, right? This is just the pattern that I see play out a lot, right? I can't be like, oh, this pattern plays out a lot, so it has to work today, because I don't know if that's the case, right? But I'm still not even worried because we're just bouncing off this trend line here. We haven't made a new lower low, right? Still higher low, higher low, higher low. We're still in an uptrend, so I'm not worried about that, right? If it comes and breaks me out right here, no big deal. A couple $100. Like I'm not the guy you guys are gonna see that's gonna come on here and sit down and bang out like a $1,000 trade in 30 seconds and try to tell you that I know that I'm trading, right? Like I'm gonna be the person that comes on here, takes consistent size trades, realistic size trades for the everyday person, right? That's gonna like teach you about the market, right? I'm not worried about, like I said, this trade being perfect, this trade being the absolute worst trade of my life, because I know that I'm gonna have another opportunity no matter what. Like I know for a fact I don't have a 100% win rate. So statistically, how could I be upset if I take one loss? That doesn't like what I'm gonna be upset because oh now at this very moment I just quit all of a sudden not having a 100% win rate even though I never had one before, right? I can't control that. What I can control is that when I do take losses, they're never gonna be much bigger than this, right? 250, 300 for the day, and then you know it's like the psychology of tilt, right? Um, your brain, man, the longest I've gone 100% is like 10 days. But even then, like it's it comes to an end, a crashing end. That account, I think, by the time it got paid out, was at like 57% win rate. But for like the majority of it, it was great. But that's the point. It's like you can't sit there and get caught up in the sauce, man. Like you can't sit here and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys I make thousands of dollars every day because I don't. I make consistent good money across the week, couple grand. And I'm in the process right now of scaling that, right? Yeah. So my goal right now is to get up to 50 funded accounts, right? I want 50 funded accounts across multiple prop firms, and I want to copy trade all of them. $200 a day with this system right here. I don't have to change anything, right? I literally don't have to change anything. The only thing I got to do is pay for a copy trader subscription so I can copy trade all the accounts across all the platforms, right? That's literally it. So that's what I do right now. I'm trading on this eval right here. I'm trying to get maxed out with Funded Futures Network. Um, Coconut, you're funny, bro. My brother got a 100% win rate, but he don't trade. But point being is right, like 200 bucks a day across 50 accounts. That's $50,000 a week, 200 bands a month, 2.4 million a year, off of making $200 a day trading two micros. Right? Is that kind of clicking to you guys right now? You see how I didn't even fucking have to panic about this, right? Because I can see, oh, it's coming, it's bouncing. We're in an uptrend. I'm aware of that. I don't have to panic at all because my risk is so on point every single day that even if this turns around and smacks me out right now, I'm not worried about it, right? I'm not seeing this go in my direction and think like, oh, I'm gonna add another one on now. It's totally a winner, right? Because I have zero control over this, right? Whatever this does right here, I would love for it to come up and push in this balance zone. Let me take a little bit off. I'll drag my stop up to break even and let the last one run. I would love that, but I just don't have control over it. Um, and that's something else. Is a lot of you guys probably deal with facing tilt. Tilt is like the biggest enemy of all traders, right? I still deal with it. Um, but I think if you understand the actual science behind tilt, it might help you combat it a little bit better, right? So what I mean by that is um, your brain doesn't know the difference between a good trade and a bad trade, like on a chemical level, right? Um, Anytime you're pressing this button, dopamine is getting released, right? Anytime you're taking a win or a loss, dopamine is getting released, right? Point being is if you're the person to sit here, take a loss, scale up, enter instantly, take another loss, scale up, enter instantly, you're actually making yourself addicted to losing. Like chemically addicted to losing. Because you're getting to the point where it's like a drug, right? You're getting hit on hit on hit on hit of dopamine and you don't even realize it. And then you wonder why at the end of the day you feel like crap when you're done trading because all that comes crashing down. You realize what you actually just did. Oh man, I just blew up another account. I don't really have the money to be doing this right now. Now I have to start all over again. I was so close this time. I've been telling people about it. I'm embarrassed. All these emotions. All of that is because you're becoming addicted to the dopamine you get from this, right? It's the exact same as trading. It's the exact same as anything else in your life that you enjoy that you get dopamine from. The only difference is you can sit down and do this whenever you want. All you have to do is click this button. It's the only difference. You start clicking this button, dopamine starts getting released. You're going to have a good time. And you might be having an awful time, but your brain doesn't know that. It's still just pumping it out, pumping it out, pumping it out, right? So by limiting my risk, right? I'm limiting the emotion that I feel, preventing myself from overtrading, preventing myself from getting caught in tilt, and preventing myself from being in this bad dopamine cycle, right? This is like human chemistry. This is nothing to do with trading. This is every aspect in your life you could apply this to, right? 90% of trading has nothing to do with trading. 90% of trading has everything to do with where are you at in your mental journey. Who are you? How strong is your will? Right? Can I break you? If I can break you, you probably aren't cut out for this. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Right? Until you get to the point where you just are unshakable, right? Until you can sit down and do this robotically every day, right? No part of me has ever even thought about adding another one on. No part of me has thought about, oh, I need to drag it down below this, right? My risk is right here below my zone. I do this every single day like a robot. When you get to that point, This doesn't. It's not a game anymore. It's real life, right? You're not sitting here. You're not thinking about like, oh man, I wish I could do this. I wish I'm gonna hit this trade and then I can finally get a payout, right? Because you're still like in that hope factor. You still aren't understanding that this is all just one big math equation, right? From the how many trades can you take to where price is going, all of it. Does anybody have any questions? I feel like I've been just ranting. I'm just waiting on my trade to play out. This is what I do every day, you guys. I just make sure that whoever's watching me, I instill the fact that you don't need to be catching banger trades 24/7, that you don't need to be over risking, and that you really can't control anything that's happening in the market. And the only thing that you can control is your risk and when you exit, right? Now, the exit part's a little sticky because if you're over risking, you're going to be exiting at the wrong times, and you're probably going to be taking losses that could have been wins if you had just taken a smaller position size and given yourself the room to actually hold. Um, these companies that have, in one day to pass, anything really. I never even think about how many days. I had an eval rebill last week. I thought I had forgot to cancel an eval. I didn't even realize I had been trading this eval for a month, just slow rolling it. Point being is, I'm never thinking about the trading days, you guys. The trading days don't matter to me, right? Because I'm not sitting here. I know for a fact, like I would have to catch three banger trades in a row. I mean, five banger trades in a row, 5 days in a row, for me to pass like this eval, like perfect timing, right? Why? Is there anything that I need next week that I'm gonna like look at my calendar and be like, oh crap, if I don't pass this eval by next Friday, I'll never be able to trade again. Like, no, there's nothing there. There's no reason you should be putting any pressure on yourself to pass within any amount of time. Um, these funding companies, they're businesses, right? I love them to death, but they have to run a profitable business. They have to have rules in place that make it to where traders that do not have the control are blowing up and that makes them money, right? And I would love for you guys to keep blowing up because whenever you blow up, guess what? You're putting money in their pocket to pay people like me. People that know what they're doing, people that have the emotional control. So let that sink in. Every time you go and buy an eval, you just bought me another tank of gas, right? Split that across however many funded people are in that company. Well, thanks. You're keeping the business going, right? So, do you want to be part of the 95% of people that keep the business going? Or do you want to be a part of the 5% of the people that are actually a part of the business, right? That are actually making the company money through trading, not from losing trading, right? Like, do you guys notice, like, do you guys not understand how big of an opportunity this is? That this has never been a thing before the past, like, 5 years? Especially in the futures industry. This is like 2 3 years old, you know? Uh, Even funded futures, they've been around for like 3 years now. Point being is this opportunity isn't like it's been here for my parents, your grandparents. They didn't have this opportunity when they that. You want to know why they don't know anything about the market? No one was there to offer them an opportunity to learn about the market. So don't take this opportunity for granted. Is what I'm trying to tell you. I guarantee you, there's going to be a day when this prop firm space changes somehow, some way, just like it did in forex, right? I used to trade forex, and then guess what happened? U.S. regulated it all. Nobody wanted to allow anyone in the U.S. to take on prop firm accounts. Every prop firm that was safe wouldn't take on U.S. accounts. I'm sitting here taking prop firm accounts with firms I've never heard of and countries I've never heard of, getting payouts and then getting blocked, right? So that's one reason why I will never trade forex again is because the futures is regulated. I know if I get a payout and I don't get paid, it has to be because I broke a rule. Not because, oh, well, actually in the fine print there was this clause where, you know, so and so. It's like, no, these are your trading rules. I abided by them. Give me my money, right? That's the opportunity you have. You don't need to go and save up $100,000 and already know how to trade and be able to trade. You have access to perfectly good capital at an extremely fair rate. The only thing you have to be able to do is know how to manage it, right? Which is the whole point of the whole entire prop firm industry, is to find the people that know how to manage the capital, right? The people that run these industries, they know how to trade, but they can't sit here and take every single trade that we all take, right? It makes them more profitable to have more people that understand what's going on. How are they going to find those people? They're going to give them opportunity through capital through simulated funds, which is what an evaluation is, right? And then the people that don't succeed are obviously going to be the people that are putting money into that prop firm's pocket. So do you want to continue to be the person that pays the bills? You want to keep paying the light bill, or do you want to be a part of the 3 to 5% that's getting paid and actually helping grow the company through success, right? Not through failure. And that's not talking any mess on prop firms, right? That's just the statistic of how people trade. Like, it's not like they're like over here like, we have to keep the percentage at 95% fail rate, blah blah. No, that's just literally how weak so many people are. So weak that they sit here and they have no control over their mind, no control over their psychology. They would have taken this trade, they would have oversized, been stopped out. Look, I'm only $24 negative now. Do I know if it's going to go green? I have no clue. I literally do not care, you guys. Like, because my risk is so on point that I know that I'm not just going to be a statistic today. This account's never going to get blown up, and I'm not going to go pay somebody that just got paid. Right? You know that's how it works. Until, like, if I pass this account, until I get brought live, the money that I'm getting paid is coming from failed evals. Until you go live, until you really prove yourself and they give you real capital, all the money I make on a majority of my account comes from people that fail it. That's just like the realistic truth. And until you get serious about this, until you start really like taking your life serious in every aspect, you guys, not just trading. Matter of fact, trading is the last place that you're gonna have to get your shit together, right? Um, because if you don't have control over your own mind, you'll never make it. You will never be profitable, right? Psychology is probably 90 to 95% of everything that goes on in trading, right? You just seen it today. I have the strong will, the strong psychology to where I know my setup. I'm not going to sit here and be like, dang, it's pumping down. Hopefully it works out. I'm starting to get nervous. Blah, blah, blah. Right? That these emotions never occur to me anymore. Why? Because I've developed a system that I know works. I know I can have faith in it, and I don't have to sit here and, like I told you guys, I don't have to catch bangers every day. I couldn't tell you the last time I had like a $500 $600 trade. I literally don't know because I don't care about that. I don't care about being flashy. You're never gonna see me posting just made $30,000 in one trade, right? Most of the time, I don't even flex my payouts. I'm not here to get like I legitimately in my group. I legitimately don't care if there's nobody there, or if there's 100,000 people there, because it's not my main source of income. It's more of the fact that I just got tired of having communities that I'm a part of that just fall apart, right? Um, so I'll give you guys a little spill on that while this kind of plays out. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of my Discord, right? Move this over. All right, so you can see right here, I have our Friday live stream with Futures Funded. Tomorrow we have our giveaway, um, and then we have a weekly class on Saturdays, right, or on Sundays, and then Monday through Friday, it'll keep going. It'll like repeat. But Monday through Friday, I have New York and Tokyo streams. All right. Man, why is it so big? Usually it's just smaller. And we're just active in here all day, right? So we're talking about trades, just like I mean every trading. right? I make sure I keep the news updated. You can find our prop links, our affiliate codes, right? Down here in VIP, this is where my partner really comes and breaks things down. Um, this is my partner, Tyler. He's an absolute savage. Let's check on this. Right. So this is what I'm looking for, right, you guys? With the copy trading strategy, right? You catch a banger trade, couple micros, it runs. I think this day Nasdaq ran like 200 points, right? So here's my buddy, copy trading. You know, this is the point of building your accounts, building your buffers up, right? To the point where you can take trades, have multiple accounts, and not have to like scale up, scale up, scale up, scale up. You know, the whole point is to never be trading on max support, right? So then we have our classes. Um, Let me see, where do we have our homework posted up? So in our classes, we go through and we will have like a module, right? I'll give you guys a sneak peek of that, like whenever I go to wrap up the stream. But we have everybody in here, right? We have them do homework every week, like it's like a real class. So whatever we talk about, I want you to be able to come in here and find it on the market, find real examples of it, multiple of them, and I need to see them posted, right? Um, in here is where we have our practice charts, more information. I'm still trying to get this all organized correctly. But point being is we're in here every single day. The only goal I have is to turn this into something that is going to be more than just trading, right? Um, I have no problem making my own money. I have no problem doing well in trading. Like I said, I legitimately don't need this. I don't need to be here. I'm doing this because I just want a community that doesn't fall apart, that I can be a part of, that I also have control over the direction of. Um, I'm teaching people how to trade because I'm looking to change the way that my family functions. I'm looking to change the way that my kids will live, my kids' will live. I'm looking to set up an entire like lineage. Like I'm looking to be the one in my family that goes from 9 to 5 worker to old fucking money, right? And I know I'm not going to do that alone. So I'm building a team of people right now, right? I'm teaching people how to trade, how to become profitable, and then once they get profitable and I see like, oh, okay, you're doing this long term, my long term goal is to be able to open up some kind of investment group, right? Extend the people that are making money, that have never made money before, that probably don't know what to do with money once they start making it. Opportunities to continue to make money with that money instead of going and fucking it off, buying a new car, going and getting expensive, going to the club, going and buying jewelry. All that shit's fun, but guess what? You start doing all that shit and everything you just did to work for it is out the door. You go buy a gold chain, I don't care. It, it, I make jewelry, you guys. I'm aware of how the market works. You're losing money. You walk out that door, you just lost money, right? Unless you are making that, yeah, exactly. Unless, especially bust down. Oh, you're getting robbed on a bust down. Um, the whole point is I'm looking for people that are serious about their life, right? I don't care. Like I'm looking to build like a family, like a community, right? Like I don't care, you know, about like the money from the group, right? I don't care. Like that's why our prices are so cheap. Like I just want people that actually care. Like I can't just sit here and make it free for everybody because then I get spammed. But I'm not sitting here charging you 200 bucks a month like almost every group in the industry. 100 bucks a month, right? It's 50 bucks. You want to come watch me trade every single day? What, 50 divided by 20? That's you're paying 2 bucks a day compared to like 10 with other people, right? So like again, I can't express how much like my entire goal is to just build a community of people that are like-minded that we can grow together with financially outside of trading. Trading is just going to be like our personal funny money at one point, right? Like that's how far I'm trying to take it. I'm trying to get to the point where it doesn't matter when it is. If something happens that I can take advantage of financially, I'm in a position to do it, right? I have a team that's in a position to do it. Um, Whether that be, the next real estate crash, anything, anything that could potentially put me in a position, what if Bitcoin dumps to like 20K and I want to stack up, like anything. I I don't know. I really don't know like how far the investment part of it's gonna go. But the point is, like, I'm right now actively trying to build people that I can see being a part of that, right? Because I don't want to teach you how to make money and then that just be the end of it, right? Because like I said, I don't need your subscription, right? So how does that benefit me if I'm just teaching you how to make money? Um, the whole point is to teach you how to make money so that whenever you start making money, then you have the opportunity to use that money, right? And collectively, it'll be something that we get better at as a group, right? I don't have a ton of investing experience, but I do know that I'm a go-getter and that anything that I set my mind to, I'm going to be successful at, right? I'm aware that there are losses along the way. I never let those losses stop me. Um, I'm never going to be the person that quits, like, ever. Like, it just isn't in me. If I was, I would have never made it to where I am today in trading, right? I would have listened to all those people that were telling me, "Oh, this is a scam. This doesn't matter. This is like you don't know what you're doing. You're just gambling. Like you've been trying this, you still haven't made any money." Like, all right, motherfucker. Well, you're still just sitting at that 9 to 5 doing nothing. Like you're still just pissing off every paycheck you get. Like at least I'm investing in myself, right? So if you guys are blowing up a bunch of evals right now, don't let it bother you. It's part of the cycle. You need to correct whatever it is that's causing you to blow up. Something I strongly, matter of fact, if you don't do that, what I'm about to tell you, then you are not fucking serious about your trading. If you are someone that's blowing up trades, go and download OBS, right? Download OBS, start recording your trade every single time you sit down. There is no exception. You don't get to pick and choose when you do this. You don't only turn on the record button when you're in a winning trade. You sit down, you press record every single time you sit down. No exception, right? And the whole point of this is now I don't want you just taking a trade. I want you talking through what you see on the trade. Talk through why you're in the trade. Why is your stop where it is? Why is your position size the way that it is? Talk through all of these things verbally and watch how much better your trading becomes. I'm serious. I'm so, so, so serious about this. Yo, what's up, Jay? If you're serious about your trading, this is one thing that really expedited my progress in trading. Is I had to start getting serious. Like, what am I doing behind closed doors when no one's there? Right? I can sit here, I can post these winning trades all day long, but then why am I starting over a new account? Why did I just post a $700 winning trade and then I blew the account up the next day and I'm not telling anybody about it, right? And then I start another account and it's like whatever I just did to blow up the last one, it goes out the window, right? I don't even remember it. I have no data on it, no analytics, right? I'm just sitting here relying on like my memory to be perfect. So start recording your trades, and I promise you, you start recording your trades, you blow something up, you go watch that video back, you're gonna be like, holy shit, did I really just do that? Like, you're gonna be so embarrassed. You're gonna be so fucking embarrassed about whatever it was that you were doing. They're gonna be like, wow, I gotta fix this. Like this is stupid of me. Why would I ever do this? And you're never gonna catch it if you don't sit there and record yourself and you don't make it to where you can go back and see it and hear yourself, right? And that's gonna also make you better as a trader. You're gonna see like right here, like if I would have oversized, right, and I'm sitting here, I'm talking it through it, like oh, like I want it like normally I would have my wrist below it, but since I sized twice as large today, I'll put it at half, right? Then I would have that recorded and I would know like okay, that's where my mistake was. Okay? So same. If you start recording your trades, you're going to be able to have some data on why your trades are going poorly, and then you'll be able to fix that. right? And a much faster pace than if you were sitting here like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, right? Well, you don't get it because you're not putting any effort in. You don't get it because you're just sitting here doing the same thing every day, like you're a gambler. Like we aren't gambling, you guys. You know that? Like I'm not logged into Roobet right now, spinning slots. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but that's not what I'm doing. Like I'm trading. Trading is not gambling. Man, I hope I'm hitting home to some of you guys. I hope I'm just like speaking to some of y'all and y'all are finally like clicking it. Like it's all clicking. Like I actually really I like really and truly believe you can be profitable from just flipping a coin. And what do I mean by that? I think you literally could sit down and flip a coin heads or tails, heads long, tails short, follow that every single day. And as long as your risk management is correct, right? Like as long as you're one or two micros on a 25K, I think you'd be profitable, right? I think the problem is so many people get caught up in the sauce and overcomplicating this, the emotional part where they're just, hey, what's up, Tyler? Where they're just so upset, right? They go into this tilt, like I was telling you guys earlier. They're so addicted to this dopamine rush that they get, and they don't even know about it. They have never even taken a step back, right? Their heart rate is running. They're in a trade, and they're like, it's like they're on a roller coaster, right? Like literally, it's like they're riding on a roller coaster when they're in a trade, right? If that's you, if that's where you're at right now, you really, really, really have to crack down on that and stop whatever it is that you're doing, right? I guarantee you, you're probably more than likely just oversized, right? How many of you guys would have been stopped out and you wouldn't even be seeing this potential profit right now? How many? Probably a majority of you, right? Right. Oversized. Oversized. This is what I'm telling you. Like, my trades, they're not going to sit here. They're not going to be big, giant bangers. I'm not looking for it. I'm looking for a base hit every single day. That's it. Right? I'm going to bring up my risk now. Right? So I'm going to come below this candle. Now I just cut my risk in half. Now I'm at 4 points. Right? Now if this trade turns around, I lose $80. Right? But I'm not going to sit here and think like, oh, it's finally breaking out. This candle has to be the one that does it. No. I see that there's fair price right here. I'm going to come and put it right up below this, right? Right below it. So I'm right below this fair price. I'm going to let it do its thing. That's all you can do, you guys. This is all you can do. This is what I do every single day. And this is what I'm telling you. On 50 accounts, this would be 7,500 bucks. Right? And I didn't have to risk shit. I didn't have to risk shit. And on top of that, I'm making the people every time I sit down and trade on my funded accounts, I'm making people happy. Every funded company I trade with, they're happy. You want to know why? Because they know that their capital is protected and that there's potential for them to make money. That makes sense. That's really all it is, right? Protect capital, increase potential to make money. This shit is so a math equation, you guys. Like everything about this is math. If you're the person that sits here and is like, I hate math, I hate math. Well, I'm sorry, you're gonna have a really hard time trading because if you can't sit here and understand like the percentages, right? I have 1,500 bucks. If you're taking $1,000 loss with a $1,500 limit, you just blew 67% of your allowed loss in one trade. You're a fucking degenerate and you don't deserve to be profitable. I'm just being honest. You haven't got there yet. And that some of you might need to hear that, right? Some of you might be in these groups that are so sugarcoaty because they probably aren't even profitable and they're depending on your membership that they're just like, oh, don't worry, we're going to get you there. You're going to be profitable. Don't worry, we're going to get you there. You're going to be profitable. Keep it up. But are they like, what are they doing with you? Are they doing anything outside of it, right? Are they like talking to you, helping you out? There she goes, taking off. Yep. So look, now I'm going to look for price to come into this balance, which it just tapped into. And I'm going to see. Are we going to get a hard rejection right here? Or are we going to push through it, right? I'm going to come right here. Take one off. Refresh this and see if it took it off before I go and spam it. It did not. going to take one off, right? And then I'm going to come down here, modify this to 1, right? And then I'm just going to move this up to break even. All right, I'm going to move it below this 5-minute candle. And then I'm going to drop down to like the 3-minute. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to let it one time frame on the 3-minute, right? So what that means is until I might have to do on like a 1 or a 2 actually. Oh, we don't have data. 3 minutes kind of big. Yeah, I'm gonna do it on a 2-minute. So what I'm doing right here, I'm gonna hold this position. Yeah, I don't think I recorded it, but I'll post my YouTube. I have free streams posted on there that explain it. And like I said, if you want to join our Discord, you should come and check it out. We I do this every single day, 10 streams a week. All right, so it's $50 a month for those 10 streams. If you want to not pay, that's totally fine. I will probably stream here more often on Friday, I'm assuming. And then on Tuesdays, I do two free streams, one in the morning, one in the evening, because I know everybody has different schedules, right? Um, Point being is like this is how I trade every single day, right? This is the strategy I use every single day. So if you want to continue to learn how to trade like this, then it's right here for you. And like I said, we're doing a giveaway tomorrow. So like even if you don't care about how I trade at all, like I think it's beneficial for you to join because we're literally doing a giveaway tomorrow, right? You get a 50K, you get a chance to win a 50K eval for free. No, like you don't have to be signed up for anything. You don't have to be VIP. The only thing you have to do is be here whenever I'm live streaming it. That's literally it, right? And so right here, I'm just gonna let this run, right? What I'm doing is I'm letting it one time frame, okay? And so what that means is as this closes, right, as this candle closes, I'm gonna be moving my stop up to just below these candles, right? And I'm just gonna let price continue to run like this until it doesn't. And eventually price will stop running like this and it will stop and it will turn around, right? You'll get that candle where it closes, it's like doji, and then the next one comes down and takes it out, right? That's the candle I'm looking for. I don't know when it's going to print. Is it going to be this one that just printed? It could be. Look, this could be the doji little candle I'm talking about before it comes down. But I'm just going to move up in case that is the case, right? I'm securing a little bit more profit on every single one without sitting here being emotional about it, right? This is all systematic. There is nothing about this that is like discretionary upon me and how I feel. This is how I do this every single day. And the whole point of that is like my trading has nothing to do with my fucking emotions, you guys. As a person, as a man, has nothing to do with it. Nothing. Like it will none of those things will ever matter, right? So now we're gonna push for this next zone right here. None of those things will ever matter though, because it's none of those play into trading. You can't sit here and get pissed off your way to being profitable, right? You can't sit here and be hopeful on the way to being profitable. Okay? Like no emotion that you can put out is going to make anything different happen on the market. Because the market isn't driven by emotion, it's driven by math, it's driven by CME's algorithm. That's how I know. Price is going to push up to this. Look, how long have I had this box drawn? How long have I had this? The entire fucking stream. So, since an hour and 15 minutes, I've had this box drawn. How do I know price is going to push up into this? How do I know it's going to push up into this to the fucking tick? Because I understand the way that the market works. I understand that this is all just one algorithm, you guys. I understand that there is no such thing as fair value gaps. There is no such thing as uh, I could go on. That's a whole other rant. I'm not going to get into. Anyway, point being, a lot of these concepts that you guys are hanging on to are strictly just concepts, right? That's all it is, right? I know for a fact that when I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the market, that I've been exposed to finding this for so long that I can tell you, like, oh, this is why it's right here. This is why when it pushes into this is when I start the one time framing, right? When I start dragging it, because I know if it pushes into this, it's going to reject and come down, or it's going to push into it, accept it as fair balance, right? So this is really what you have happening in the market right here. Right here, you have fair price, right? The price is moving consistently horizontally. This is the market accepting the price of the commodity. It could be any commodity regulated by CME. It all works the same. This is fair price in the market. This right here is the expansion, right? Here you have an expansion outside of fair price. This is an imbalance in the market, right? This is unfair price. The buyers have just taken over. They have shot this up. Prices are no longer fair here. Sellers step back in, right? At our previous point, let me go like a 5 minute real quick. Sellers step back in at the previous point of fair price, right? You see this? Price is moving sideways. Fair price. Price pushes down, breaks the higher low, starts a downtrend, right? Point being, now we have this unfair price, right? Even though it's slow and choppy, this is unfair price. So this all needs to be redelivered. How do I know price is going to come up to here? Because I know that this is unfair. I understand the way the market works. This is not fair price. It's unfair. The market has to be fair. This is the entire point of the US regulating futures. This is the entire point of it being in CME's court. It's so that price can be kept fair, so that it can't be manipulated, so that people can't be sitting here with billions and trillions of dollars fucking over retail traders 24/7, right? There has to be some referee. That is CME. They define value in the market, which is this fair value, and that's how I know price is going to push up to it to the tick, right? And then decide, is this where price needs to be balanced at, right? So does this rebalance the market? No. Price needs to keep coming higher, so it's going to push through it, right? Now, do we have something like here that we just tapped into that maybe I missed, right? That's totally possible. I'm not going to sit here and think like, oh, I'm so perfect, I couldn't have missed it. So let's go look. Okay, so here's the end of that one time frame, right? Come and put it right here on the top of this. Let's see if it pushes down through it. If it does, then hey, I'm done for the day, green. And then we'll go and find whatever balance that is that I missed on a smaller time frame, and I'll show you guys why price rejects right here. Just waiting. I need to give it like one more tick, because you want to see it close below, right? Like whenever it's flashing below like this, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, right? You can almost count to like 10 seconds, and then if it's not going to stay below it, it'll flash up and down, flash up and down, flash up and down. But now if it comes right here and closes below it, that's totally different, right? And this is how I trade every day, you guys. I mean, I can't sit here and rant enough probably to get it in your head in one stream, but it really doesn't have to be any different than this, right? Price is going to reverse now. Oh, oh, maybe not, but I think so. Checking on like a 3 minute. Okay, we're still one time framing on the three. All right, rocking right here. All right, so look, the most I'm giving back is $1. Right, is that right? Or no, $10. My bad. I was like, that ain't right. All right. Like, I have so much of my profit secured that it doesn't matter, right? That's why I can sit here and just let it kind of play out and do its thing. Oh, the chart froze. If you guys ever have the chart freeze like that, what you have to do is you have to come in here, refresh your screen, okay, and then scroll down here and click modify, and don't change anything, just press modify again, and your order will show back up on the screen, right? Because if you don't, then it'll disappear and you won't know where it's at. And I haven't found another way to get it to come back up. It's still there, it's just they're working on it. um, I found an issue last week where if like you delete this line, like if you click delete right here, the order doesn't delete. But now like if you click delete, right, the order deletes, right? So like these guys are really good at like what they do. um, if you find an issue, put it in support. They're gonna help you out. Like I literally had this issue fixed within like 10 minutes. They're talking to the devs, they're getting it fixed. you know Maybe the update doesn't roll out that fast, but the developers knew about it within like 10 minutes of me experiencing it, right? And that's huge, right? So that benefits all of us, not just saying this as like oh, look at me, I found a bug. No, I'm saying this is like you have access to the support team here. The support team has direct access to the devs of Onyx. So if you see anything that's going wrong, right, then you should bring that up. Because there's not very many platforms that you trade on that you have direct access to like that, where if you see an issue, you can help be part of the change and get it fixed, and that benefits every single person that uses this platform, right? Like, I guarantee you, every single person that was sitting here and trying to delete this, and then their ghost order was still there, right? That it only deleted the line, the market order is still here, getting burned. Like, they're probably all very happy that someone brought it to light, and it probably wasn't just me. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, it's all me. I'm just saying that like as a community, we have the opportunity to help this thing continue to grow. All right, so I'm gonna look for price to push into this one. I knew it wasn't wrong right there. I was like, why is price stopping? Oh, it was probably this right here actually. I guarantee you that's what we stopped at. Yeah, the top of that zone right there. Let's see. I would have known from this, right? When we push into this, like, oh, we just pushed past it. Now we're just teetering the bottom of this zone of fair price, right? This is what I'm not making this shit up, you guys. Like, I can literally tell you where price is going on gold. Like, I'm aware of it. Once I get into the right trend, I can tell you, okay, this is where price could potentially stop at. And a lot of the times, it's going to be to the tick. Like, I'm not trying to like ride my own horn or anything, but like, if you can't see this in the market, there's a reason. It's probably because you have a bad foundation from somebody that also has no idea that this is even a part of the market and is just selling you a course. Um, Unfortunately, that is the vast majority of this industry, and there's really not like nothing is ever going to change about that, right? Because human psychology is just based around hope, right? Hope to do better, hope to be better. Um, as that continues, then I'm going to take my profit here. I like this. 227 buck on the day. We're coming into this like 1 point below it. It's starting to get a little weak here. I'm gonna take my profit. I'm gonna secure it. I don't gotta hold it. I'm good on the day. 220 bucks. Like I told you, 50 accounts. I just made $12,000. Right. That's my goal. Right. So I'm maintaining that goal. Right. You see how that? And that's something you guys have to understand. The best traders in the world. I'm talking about the biggest, the best dogs in the world. Right. The people you're trying to be like. They don't give a fuck about catching the whole move. They literally don't give a single flying fuck about catching this entire move, right? They care about sticking to their strategy, securing the profits that they know work out for them long term. And if it keeps running past that, literally who the fuck cares? Not me, because you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to get off the chart. I'm about to go live my life. I think I'm going to go to the beach today, go fishing. I might go to the redwoods and go hike with my dogs. Like, shit, I could do nothing today. I literally have the luxury to do whatever I want to every single day of my life, you guys, and you guys could have the exact same luxury. Like this isn't an opportunity that they were like, oh, we're gonna give this to Corbin for him to show off for everybody in the world. No, they didn't even know about me until like last week whenever we started talking to each other. Um, This is an opportunity that you have, your brother has, your mother has, everybody in your life has, right? The only difference is 90% of them probably think it's a scam. Another 9% of them think it's impossible to learn. And then there's going to be that like 1% that pushes through and tries to. And then you're on to a whole nother category of percentages, right? Because then now that you're the person that's trying, now you're going to have to fight the other 90% of people that told you it wasn't possible, the 9% of people that are failing, trying to tell you that it's not worth it, right? Well, I hate to tell you guys, but this is the best business you can have. Trading is the best business you can ever run in your life if you can be profitable. Why? Can you please tell me any other business in the world where you have 100% profit retention, right? My profit ratio is 100%. I have no product I sell. I have no service I sell. There is nothing I have to market. The only thing I have to do is understand the market, right? I couldn't go start. You think fucking Ford would be in business if they just quit selling cars? If they just quit having a cost of business? No. Every other business in the world has business expenditures. Once you become profitable and you stop throwing money at evals every single week, that expenditure goes way down. Guess what? You are now in position, right? You are in control of the best business in the world, right? You do not have to worry about anything. You don't have any product you have to sell. You don't have any customers you have to deal with. You don't have employees you have to pay. You don't have health insurance for these employees that you have to worry about. You don't have to have HR take care of these employees and make sure they're still happy. You don't have to do refunds. You don't have to worry about logistics for shipping any products. You don't have to worry about going to other countries and finding how to source new products. Does this make sense? This is a business where you sit down today. I just made 200 bucks. I could have another account tomorrow. I just doubled my fucking income from doing nothing different. You can't do that in any other business. That's why I take trading so serious. That's why this is my life. That's why I see this number good, I take number. I don't see this number good, and I think, oh, it's gonna be more, right? Look, it was more. I don't know how much more it's gonna be. It could go all day, you guys. All day. I don't care, right? I'm gonna come back later for Tokyo, or well, it's the weekend. So I'm gonna go have a good ass weekend. I'm gonna go to the beach, I think, and go get some crab, some seafood, have a little wine or something, enjoy my life. What do you guys got planned for this weekend? I feel like I've been just ranting. Nobody asked anything this stream. I've just been yapping. Do you guys feel like this is you guys find any value in this? Does this help you a little bit? Yeah, no sushi. Look, this is where price is at, right? It's pushed into this. Look where it keeps closing at on the 1 minute. It can wick past it a little bit, but look where it closes, right? And then it pushes down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let me do that. Let me before I end this. Let me give you guys a little sneak peek of our courses because I think they're a lot different than like what is usually out there. This isn't just like a like I would like to consider our course like collegiate level. I would say. So what do I mean by that? So we'll give. All right, we have full slides, right? Well, we will go through and talk about. This is like a lesson plan, right? So we talk about fair value, right? We talk about exactly what I'm telling you about today, right? The imbalance where price is moving and how price has to return to the fair price that it was once at, right? This is how the market works. This is how the market is balanced. This is legitimately what CME does every single day. And I know it's true because it's fractal. What does that mean? This happens on every single time frame. This happens on the 1 second. This happens on the 10 second. This happens on the 1 minute. This happens on the 10 minute. This happens on the 1 hour. This happens on the 1 day. Why is that? Because it's algorithmic. It has to happen, right? Along with that, you get like a reading, a breakdown of what's going on, right? So this is like, this is what you have open while we're talking. Then you have Tyler, who is teaching the class. He walks through this, and I'll give you a little preview of like something that I think is valuable, right? All right, so this is our first class. This is a little snippet of it. You guys get to see it, and then I'm going to end the stream after this. Um,
Everybody. So, all right, must just be you, Sergio. So what's the problem with traditional thinking? It's the retail trap, right? So retail traders have things that they do. You chase green candles, fearing your red ones. You're over relying on lagging indicators, seeing the market as chaotic and random when really it's not chaotic and random. Everything in the market has a purpose of why it was there. Reacting to news headlines. This is how most people see the market, and our goal is to clear that noise. Our goal is to look inside and kind of see what the market is for real. Because if once you get caught up in the noise, you really can't get a good idea of what exactly is going on. So as I said earlier, the market is a continuous auction house. So what do I mean by that? In any auction, you're going to have two main groups. First, you're going to have an auctioneer. The auctioneer's job isn't to guess the price. Their job is to facilitate the trade of the market. They want to find a price that gets the most people to transact, whether that be buying or selling, and they want a lively room, right? They want to move the merchandise, which is their contracts. In our market, the auctioneers are the facilitators. These are the large institutions, banks and hedge funds and market makers. They are not a shadowy group that preys on you when you're trading. They are just large entities with a simple goal to buy low and to sell high, to profit from the flow of order. They have capital to move. They have liquidity. Now, who are they auctioning to? The second group, the bidders, these are the participants in the room waving the paddles. In our world, they are the retail traders. This is most of us. We are the demand. We consume liquidity. We react to the price that the auctioneer calls out. We get emotional, we get fearful, and we get greedy. And here is the most critical insight that you must internalize. The facilitators, or the auctioneer, are always on the other side of the bidders and retail's emotion. When retail is euphoric and FOMO buying the top, who is selling to them? The market makers are. When retail is panicking and panic selling at the bottom, who is buying it? The facilitators. Their entire business model is facilitation. So people have this idea that the market is in it to trap themselves, right? They think that the market makers are on one side of the market or the other. It does a market maker no good to be bullish or bearish because the act of a market maker is to facilitate trade. They make their money on the order flow, they make their money on the spread, and they make their money just like we just talked about. When we're selling, they're buying, and when we're buying, they're selling because there always has to be somebody in the market to be on the other side of, you know, our orders. So with that in mind, that's the way you have to look at these things. If you see candles going up or going down very aggressively, you have to fight the urge into falling into that FOMO trap because you have to think of the market now as, you need to think of it as a facilitator. You need to think of why would they be putting price the way they're putting it? If retail is doing this, what should I be doing? And when you start thinking about the market like that, it really starts to open up, what you can do, what you think of. So facilitators are always on the other side. They're always on the other side. They're almost never on the same side as us. Sometimes, in small percentage of times, they will be on the other side on the same side of us, but it's for a very brief moment. When they want to break out price, when they want to send price into discovery mode, that's usually when they do it. But the key to understanding the price movement is for 95% of the time, facilitators, auctioneers, market makers, whatever you want to call them, are on the opposite side of where we are as retail traders. So with that in mind, that is going to help us plan out our trade. Okay. So on this next slide, I'm going to show you guys a little example here. Okay. So the auctioneer's goal is to find fair or balanced price. A price where an item buys or sells in the market is fair.
this right here is the explanation of my entire concept of trading, right? This is why I think there is fair price in the market, and this is why I believe in it, right? So this is he's about to break it down, and then I'm gonna wrap things up, right? I'm not gonna run through this whole thing. Like I'm just giving you guys a few minutes of this. Um, Tyler puts countless hours into this. He does not need to be doing this. Like I said, we are building a community, um, and he's really 15 hours a day going hard on this server for us, right? So I'm not going to sit here and give you guys his entire class because that would be unfair to him.
Price. So if we look at this chart, you see this area that I've circled here. Look how the price behaved. It went up a little bit, it went down a little bit, but it kept coming back to this general zone. It spent a lot of time here. So this particular frame is on the 30-minute chart. So it doesn't look like much, but time has clearly passed here, and it was a spot in the market where the market deemed that it was fair value. Fair value is it's not a magic line, okay? It's a price area where the majority of trade has previously been facilitated. It's a zone of agreement. It's an agreement between buyers and sellers that this is a fair value for the market. They're pretty much coming together and say, yes, we accept this price. It's an efficient price. And now we're looking for to price to go into discovery mode. So what happens when price starts to break out of these zones? Price leaves area hard, and it doesn't just kind of go away soft. It often moves with a power and velocity. This is the market discovering that price is no longer fair. New information or new sentiment, new order flow have come into the market that make the old price obsolete. The auction is now repricing the asset. This is called an imbalance. So this imbalance is a strong directional move. So we know that as an imbalance. We know this with the CME algorithm is unfair delivery.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. When I'm trading here today, I come in here and I take my trade. What does this look like, right? Just up and down, right? Why? Oh, it doesn't break the bottom. Why do you think I don't start worrying about this trade? Because I understand this is fair price. It might look different than this. It might look different than this, right? But this is still fair price, right? Price hasn't rejected it, right? And now look,
Right? So we had a bunch of sellers and we had no opportunities for buying in that market. So that imbalance, where one side is overwhelmingly stronger than the other, it causes the market to get off sides. So this movement away from the value area creates a predictable repeating cycle. And the cycle has three parts. First is the imbalance, the strong directional move, a surge of orders that create a powerful candle or a series of candles that break away from the value area. But moves can't go one direction; they can't go one direction forever, and they often go too far. Right? What happens is intraday traders they get in, they get very very excited, and as they're selling it down, they're not noticing they're coming into an area where the facilitators have orders or have buy orders standing. Right? So they leave efficient and high volume value areas and move into low volume inefficient prices. This is a deviation or an overshoot. So in this middle picture here, you have this wick that fires down a lot lower than the previous low.
all right, so let's look at this, right? I'm gonna go to 15 minute. I'm gonna look at this. Okay, we got fair price right here, right? We get the expansion down, right? Imbalance. Where's the deviation at? Right here, right? Here's your deviation. It's not as big as sometimes, right? You might get a bigger one here, right? Deviation, right? Here's your deviation, right? This is when sellers, this is when retail traders have no idea, right? One, because I can tell you there's balance right here in the market, right? Look, how do I know price is going to come down to here? Retail traders don't understand the way that the market works. They don't understand that this is algorithmic. They don't understand that there's buy orders down here. Why are there buy orders down here? This is the last place price was priced fair at this level. It hasn't, since this has happened, right? Since price has broken away from this fairness, it hasn't returned. Price must return at, now we're in a downtrend. Where would price go to? Well, it's going to need to come into this one. It's going to need to come into this one. It's going to need to come into this one, and then this one, and then it's going to come down to here. Where do you see it taking stops at? Right here. Look, here it is. Here's the stop. Where do you see it taking a stop at? Right here. Oh, look, here it is. Here's the stop. Where do you see it taking a stop at? Right here. Here it is. Here's the stop. Why is it like that, right? Because this is how the market works, right? This is what we're trying to teach you guys.
That's because price has moved too fast through this area. As retail keeps trying to sell it down, the market makers say, no, 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 we're not ready to go down there yet. And the market becomes too hot or too cheap. It's an extreme. The market doesn't participate in extremes. And this is where the facilitators or the auctioneers or the banks, they see their opportunity. If price has skyrocketed higher and the retail is piling in, the facilitators are there happily selling their inventory to them at these premium prices. Once the imbalance is exhausted and the facilitators have transacted the energy behind the move and dies, what does price do? In this third slide, price returns to the value area of before. It doesn't just stop. It often travels all the way back to the last known area of fair value. It's not a bounce or a retracement in the traditional sense. This is fair price redelivery. This is the market algorithm. The market is literally redelivering price back to the last fair, efficient, and agreed upon level. The cycle is complete. So your three-step cycle would be your imbalance, your deviation, and then your fair price delivery. These are the three keys that happen in the market. This is what the market runs around.
All right, so now that we have that, and now we know what's going to happen, right? Here's the balance area, right? our first one, right? This is where price initially expanded from. We see it break. Here it comes into expansion. Here's our deviation, which is, where is this at? Whoa, what do you know? This is the complete opposite. They ping pong off of each other, you guys. Here's the expansion from previous, right? And what do we know? Price has to come up. Here's our deviation right here, right? Here's our deviation. Now, what is price going to do? Price is going to seek the area that it just left, right? Here we go, expansion down. Here's a deviation right here. Where is price going to seek? The area it left. What happens here? We seek this area right here, right? Because this is the last time that price has left, right? Here we go. Fair, 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 fair. Price leaves it. Okay, price must return to here. So why, whenever today I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, there's a buy. Well, I know that we've left this area. We haven't redelivered to this area yet. So I'm thinking we're on an uptrend. We're probably going to come and redeliver to this area. That's what gives me a confluence to go long today. Look, did I close out early? Hell yeah, I did. Do I care? Hell no, I don't. Right? I legitimately don't care, right? Wait, I closed out. Oh, this needs to update. Point being is like, I'm green for the day, you guys. I could go. I mean, what couldn't you do today with 200 bucks? Like, I mean, obviously you can't go skydiving, rent a helicopter, buy a car, buy a house, but like, I can go pay my phone bill. I can go out to eat. I can take my girl out. She's gonna be happy. I can go. My mom needs something. I go buy her something. You know, like, I can take care of the people that I care about with $200 a day, and that's one account. It's like, let that sink in. Like, what is you guys' goal in life, right? Like, look, I took my exit. Like, what, here? Yep, yep. I got you, Bubba. You're just gonna have to drop me the address. I'll DoorDash it. But yeah, so you guys make sure you check out Funded Futures Network. They've got a really good sale going on right now. Again, I'll drop the invite to my Discord. I'm gonna start wrapping things up here. I really appreciate everyone that showed up today. This is my first time ever doing like a outside of my like comfort zone stream, so I was really kind of unsure of like how it was gonna go. But honestly, it's the exact same as whenever I normally stream. Like, it felt like nothing different. Like, so I think, I'm really happy with how today went. Um, don't forget that. Here, let me give you guys the link. Here's the link. You click that link, you'll automatically get the discount applied to your web page. Whenever you go to checkout, you'll have the buy one get one applied. Just make sure that you send support your receipt, and they will get you your free account. And just don't forget what I like to do. This isn't something that they're going to tell you, but just from a trader's perspective, if you're trading these accounts, you're trying to get the free one, make sure you trade the free account first. If you blow up the non-free account, you no longer have access to your free account. Trade your free account first, let it pass, buy another eval if the sell's still going. You know, that's the way I like to do it. If you have money, you want to buy all of them at once, you're more than welcome to go buy them all at once. You can stack up on like 5 of them, and then if you blow the free one, then you can activate the next one. It doesn't have to be within the sell. But I find that whenever I do that, I just have too many accounts available to me at once that I'm trying to pass, and then I run into issues. So I like to buy one, focus on the free one. If I fail it, I will buy another one while the sale is still going, and I will leave the main account active, and I'll just continue to trade the free ones. Um, I think that's the best way to get the bang for your buck while also preserving your own personal capital. And I think that's going to make you a more successful trader, which in long term is going to make any company you trade with more money, right? So that's the whole point of them having the business, is to make money. Your whole point of being here is to make them money, and you're going to do that one way or the other, whether you're failing or you're winning with them. Um, so just make sure that I like I talked about all day long. The only thing you can control is your risk and your emotion, right? And the point at which you exit, right? So like I took my exit like where, like right. Is there a way to see 3807.5? Like here, right? No big deal, right? Yeah, I could have probably held on to this with my one-time framing rule, but I like the money that I made today. You're happy with the money you have, take it, you guys. Take it. Walk away from the computer, right? Because exactly like I told you, how whenever you're losing trades, as soon as I close this, I get this big euphoric rush, and I'm thinking like, man, I could go another trade. Man, I'm on a hot streak. No, don't do that. That's the dopamine. You're getting addicted to the dopamine. Don't do that, right? See, price starts accepting as a fair value right here. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down right here. Maybe tries to test this and then bounce higher, or maybe it comes back down, right? So like realistically, I could have waited another 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes and probably made the same amount of money, right? Because I would have still had my stop right here. I would have still came down to it. Shit, actually, I probably would have made less money because I would have had it one time frame and down here, right? I would have made 2 points less. So don't ever be scared. Like if it's running right now, the trade's running. Don't be scared to take profit. The whole point is to be taking profit while it's running, not when it's reversing. So I don't know. If you guys find value in this, I do this every single day, Monday through Friday. New York and Tokyo twice a day at the open, this exact same way. Nothing ever changes. So you want to come run up a bag, learn how to trade, learn how to read the market, right? We have a 12-week course. What you guys just saw was like 10 minutes of one of the first week, right? And I think there was probably a lot of value in there that most of you didn't even know about, that the way that the market works. So, point being is, I don't know what group you're in. I don't know what you're paying. I don't know if you're trying to learn by yourself, but my prices are extremely affordable. If you want to pay $100 a month to come be a part of the class to learn how to actually trade, instead of like 150 or 200 bucks probably to sit there and just copy somebody, then you should come check us out. Like I said, don't forget, Fund and Futures Network has their buy one get one. If you're not taking advantage of that, I don't know what you're doing or why you're even trading with anyone else right now. That's literally the best deal in the prop firm industry right now. I'm I'm consistently trading with whoever has the best sell. I don't care who it is, as long as you have good payout structure and a good sell. I'm trading with you, and that's who I'm trying to get funded with at the point, right? So, point being, Fund and Futures Network has literally the best support, the best sell going on right now. That's why I'm trading with them. That's why I'm here, right? I'm not doing this like that. I don't get anything from them. They don't pay me to be here. I'm just literally doing this because it mutually benefits me. I get to meet more people, right? And like I said, I'm trying to build a community that grows together, right? I'm not just here to make money from you guys. I legitimately don't care. I can sit here and do this all day, every day by myself in my room, not talk to anybody. My account's still going to go up. My bank account still grows every day, right? The whole point is to get to the point where it's not just this kind of money, right? Not even 10K, a couple mil a year. Like I don't care. Like that's not like enough. Like I need more. I want more. I want a big giant investment group. I want to make crazy money. I want to be able to go. I want an investment group so big that if the housing market crashes, we could go buy a single family home every day, right? Look, here we go. I would have got taken out right here. Boom, one time framing to the end. I mean, that's like a perfect way to end it right there. Even the profit taking strategy just came to a close. So, I will post my YouTube link. I'm going to post this stream on my YouTube. So if anyone is coming in a little bit later and wants to check it out, no, that's not the right account. You didn't miss out. It'll all be recorded for you. You have access to everything. And I post all of our free streams here every single week. So if you don't make it to like a morning stream on Tuesday, or like this was Tuesday, this was Thursday of last week. So if you don't make it, don't worry, it's all recorded. You can come here. You can like at least get the value from it. So, does anybody have any questions before I get off? I feel like I've just been ranting. There hasn't really been a whole lot going on in chat, so I just want to give you guys some time to, you know, did you learn anything today? Are you happy I was here? Would you like to see me back? Um, that kind of stuff. If you have any questions about the strategy, I don't mind. I don't got nothing going on. So I mean, if anyone has any questions, here's your chance. This is your one chance of the week, right? Closed mouth don't get fed. Literally, you want to sit there with your mouth closed. You literally can't eat. How are you going to make it in the market if you can't eat? You don't got no questions. That's cool. That's fine. I'm not saying you got to. Um, but this is pretty much what I do every day, right? Like I'm trading, like I said, is 10% of it, right? I almost didn't even talk about my chart today, right? I explain my entry, I explain why I take it, and that's it, right? But then the rest of it is all psychology. Like why am I in the trade? Why am I not worried, right? That's what's gonna make you profitable. That's what's gonna take you from nobody to somebody. Yes, sir. Yeah, so right now we're talking about like the first one is just understanding market, right? And then the second one we're talking about market structure. When are trends changing, right? That's how I know that this isn't an uptrend, right? I'm not worried about it being a downtrend. I see the downtrend right here breaks. Um, and to be entirely honest, the course is more of Tyler's thing, right? He's the one that's making it, so he has it completely structured. He does the coursework. I do the streams. We have one-on-ones. If that's something you're interested in, it's priced pretty premiumly, but they're all one-on-one with Tyler. Tyler is consistently making five-figure, six-figure days sometimes. So there's a lot of value in there. That's the reason that I have no problem with him teaching the course. I know that everything in there is gonna be 100% accurate, 100% valuable. Um, we're just a really well-rounded team. He's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. There's pretty much someone available 24/7. We already have support ready and active, right? So if you need to open a ticket, we have support that's going to answer you within 5-10 minutes. You're never going to be waiting around feeling like, wow, I feel like I'm not valued here, right? Anyone that's a part of our community is all equal, and we're all happy for you to be there. Even if you're a free member, like, right, I legitimately don't care why you're there, for what purpose. Like, I'm just happy that you're there, and if you're willing to learn, like, that gets me really excited, right? Like, this is what I'm enjoying right now more in my life than just trading, is like giving back to people, right? Um, just like a little personal note on me, my grandma passed away like about a year ago. At her funeral, I had no idea, but she had volunteered basically everywhere she could across the entire town, and it was the most beautiful funeral I've ever been to. Um, I thought I was at the wrong place because the entire parking lot was full of cars, and at that moment I realized, like, I want to be able to find a way to give back to people, to be able to give it to a community that gives me purpose. And so um, I struggled with that for a long time, trying to understand, like, what could I do to give back. Something came to me a few weeks ago, like, oh, like, my group was falling apart that I was a part of, and it was like everything just lined up. Like I'm really confident in my trading now. I'm in a place where I'm making money. I'm confident to be able to teach people, and so that's why I'm trying to build a community. Um, just basically through like my to honor like my grandma's life. You know, continue that legacy of just giving and being like um, devoted to other people, right? Devoted to the community. I think that's realistically like what a lot of our world is missing right now. I'm only 27, but I remember whenever I was a kid, community was a lot stronger. Bikes were in the front yard. Doors were unlocked. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you remember just walking to your neighbor's house and knocking on the door, right? Things are so different now, and it's because there's such a lack of community. Um, so that's my little spill on why I'm here, why I do this, right? Is really to give back to you guys, to push someone else to give back to somebody else, right? Right? It's just a domino effect. So I hope you guys learned something. I'm gonna wrap things up here. I'm gonna post this on my YouTube. You're more than welcome to come check us out. Like I said, we have a giveaway going on tomorrow in our group. So if you want to come be a part of it, 50K Funded Futures Network eval for free. You don't have to be a paying member. Um, VIP members and people that boost our server, they are going to have increased odds, but you do not have to be a paying member to even have a chance to win. everyone has a chance. So just come here tomorrow. It's going to be at noon my time. That's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern. So again, you're all welcome here. I would love to see you here. I would love for one of you guys to win a free account. I'm going to try to do this bi-weekly. So this week, and then obviously in like 2 weeks. And then, maybe, as the partnership grows or whatever, maybe we get more accounts. Maybe I get other partnerships. Who knows? But this is the first giveaway I've ever done, ever. So I'm really excited to give back to the community. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be going on. Don't miss out on the sale. It's going to end soon. Buy one get one free. It's literally the best deal out in the entire prop industry right now. There's not anyone else that does better. The only thing that's going on is other props are trying to copy what's going on with this sale. That's the best I've seen. I haven't seen anyone try to outdo it. The only thing I've seen is people try to match it. So take advantage of it while it's here. They already extended it once. You're already getting a blessing with that. Do not just think that it's here forever. Like, this is the new standard, right? Take advantage of it while it's around. Get serious about your life. Control your risk. And you're going to become so much of a better trader. And in here, I'm going to leave you guys with something that really resonates with me, that I think that you're all just going to take some good value out of. All right. Oh, I'll just switch to the same account, So, every single day,
and believe.
I listen to something like this, and you can say whatever you want about it. I legitimately don't give a fuck about your opinion. I don't. Your opinion has nothing to do with the way that I live my life, and it never is, right? Because I'm my own man. You can see I watch every single one of these videos. This guy is really, really, really puts his time into these videos. They're really good. And I guarantee you, if you just start your day off with something like this, you'll notice that in all my streams, I will have this sticky note popped up right here, right? So pre-stream motivation, I'm always playing a video like this 10-15 minutes before the stream starts, because I want every single person in there to kick all that negative bullshit that they're dealing with in life out, and realize, really get their mindset in the right place before we even sit down and we start trading, right? So whatever you do this weekend, I really, really encourage you to go and listen to this video. Scroll through the channel, check it out. I don't make any money. I don't even know this guy. I just found this. It works really, really well for me, and I'm just trying to allow you the opportunity to replicate what works for me, right? And you're not going to be able to know everything I do unless I make it public. So with that, I'm going to end the stream. Hope to see you guys again. Hope to see you guys tomorrow for the giveaway. And I really appreciate everybody that showed up today. I really, really appreciate you guys' time. It's a lot of fun sitting here and being able to teach you guys. And I think it just makes me a better trader. Like I said, you sit here and you record your trades. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm sitting here talking through every single trade I take, and it just makes me better every single day. So my DMs are always open if anybody has any questions. I hope I see you guys in the chat and my Discord, and I'm sure I'll probably be around again. So hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope everyone has a blessed weekend. Stay safe. Stay focused, right? This is not a time to go in and screw off, right? Saturday doesn't mean everything goes out the window. Saturday is really the day of the week that's going to test you and see, are you focused? Are you disciplined? Is this something you really want to do? Because if not, then Saturday, everything that you've built up to, all these goals you've had this week, it's going to go out the window. You're going to go fuck off, do whatever, and then you're going to try to start all over again Sunday evening, right? That's not how it works. If you're in that cycle, you're trying to start over again every single week, you're going to be struggling every single week. Stay locked in on the days that you don't do anything. Stay locked in on the days that the market is closed, and you're going to have a lot better time. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. Like I said, my DMs are always open. The group's open. We're doing the giveaway tomorrow. Take advantage of the sell. This is such a prosperous time in the trading industry right now. You're either going to be taking advantage of it, or you're going to be sitting there looking at it from the outside looking in, right? Just get serious about your guys' life, man. I just can't make that express that much. Just get serious about your life. All right, love you guys. Hope you all have a great weekend. I'm out.